Wow, 18 years as a content creator. It's party time. I'm finally, my career as an adult and can do things now. I see everybody in the chat. I was watching your chats before we got started, and I just wanted to kind of kickstart this. It's party time. It's just hangout time. It's AMA time, whatever you want to talk about today. I've made a lot of mistakes over the last 18 years. I've done a lot of things very, very right as well. And I'm happy to share my knowledge, share my lessons learned, share stories, whatever you guys want this to be. I'm here for you. And that is really, truly, I just want to speak from the heart, if that's okay for a minute. And just thank you. Some of you, I have been here since the beginning, since day one, since 2005. And some of you have seen me all throughout those 18 years. Some of you have come and gone and come back. Some of you are brand new to my world. And I just wanted to say, Chris Hawks, brand new to this world. But I just wanted to say a big old thank you, because I swear, truly, truly, truly swear, this is the best community on the internet. I say it all the time, but I truly mean it. It does. And when I say the best community on the internet, what I mean by that is that you all are positive, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in my world and this world that we are here in, no matter what. You're positive, you're helpful, you're supportive to each other. And the world is full of, the internet is toxic, and my YouTube channel is full of toxic comments. And I, in 18 years, have never really experienced that, whether it's 2 million followers, 75,000 subscribers right now, through pivots and changes and all of it. I have never experienced that yes, I have, but not in the whole of the community, right? It has been so powerful to watch you all show up for each other and for yourselves and be that positive community who is supportive of each other. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you and acknowledging that, because you are what makes me wake up. You are what makes me, push through the tough times of many times over the last 18 years, come back from burnout, come back from toxicity or from crazy stuff happening. Thank you, Marcus. I'm coming to all of your chats. Thank you so much, Marcus, for the super chat, $20. Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm coming to all of your comments. I'm going to scroll up here for a bit. But I just wanted to start off this and kickstart it with a big old thank you for being the best community on the internet and sticking through the tough times, coming back, supporting me, supporting the community, supporting yourself, and doing the things that you're attempting to do in your own content creation. So this is all your show. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm here for. If you have questions, I'm willing to talk about whatever. We've got some, photos we can pull up if you want to. Real quick before I get on into story time. I see Dan in the house, Mommy Guide, Russell, thank you so much for all being here. Sammy, Marcus, Katie, thank you so much. You have taught us how to push through, believe you can do it, and keep going and pivoting. Thank you for that great sentiment. I appreciate that. Still have the iPod. I used to do Lurid tech videos on, miss the different t-shirt every episode. I know, with the latest tech company logo, but different era, I know. But yes, that was, I ran out of budget. That was an expensive venture to wear a different t-shirt on every show. But the magical Mr. Paul Dixon created this for us. That was what happened. In October 2005, Apple announced the very first video iPod, the first iPod that was capable of playing video. And that's what my first episode wound up on back in 2005, December 23rd, 2005. Was when I put my first video out, available on that iPod. People were getting them for Christmas, and bam, people watched. And it was bad video, not any good. not really worth watching, but not many other people were available on their newfound device that they got for Christmas. And so I gained followers very, very quickly. 5 months later, quit my J job to do this full time, and I've been doing it ever since. And like we've learned, or we've had so many community members who've been here since day one, even on my team. Hey, there's Abs. Hi, Abby. Abigail came out for the celebration. Nice. Dave Peterson, who's on the team and has been here since, day one back in the day, as part of the community, became part of the team. Paul Dixon, also Kathleen Sanat, and your tech coach in the comments. And it's been just a wild ride. We learned Paul Dixon is indeed magical. And so is this vodka, apparently. And he is now, of course, the person who does all of the graphics and everything on the show. Kathleen is making things work behind the scenes now. I just am so grateful for you all. I've been on many and many adventures, an influencer before influencer was a term. Then 10 years later, burnt out, right? Lost all my followers, just completely went nowhere, completely burnt it all up. Started from scratch, flailed a bit for a couple of years, didn't know what I was doing or what I wanted to do, and then really restarted, sunk my heels in, restarted, rebuilt an audience from scratch. And that's why I'm always saying, you guys, if I can do it twice, you can at least do it once, and I have full capability or belief in you to do that. So if you're struggling, if you are worried about that you don't know what you're doing or that things aren't working, you're not getting traction or anything of the sort, I just really want to encourage you right now, it is possible. 18 years later, I have seen what's possible. I've seen people come and go, and the people who stay are the people who dig their heels in when it's not working, and they stick it out, and they're tenacious, and they try something new or different or keep doing the same thing, and it works. You quit right before it starts working, and then you just quit. Right? So stick it out regardless of how you're feeling or what is working or not working. Anyway, let me go back to your comments. I see Launchpad Astronomy. Hi. I know I'm way behind on comments. Hey, Renee, congrats on 18. Thanks for the trailblazing and inspiration. Renee is one of the OGs with Justine back in the day. Very few of us are still doing the thing. And Renee has been one of those inspirations for myself as well. We've all pivoted over those 18 years and just appreciate having a community of people who've been through all of it, as well as all of you who are new to it. Rory, what is the meaning of life? 42. Cheers to Callie. What's cheers to Callie for? Callie came on. She's the only one who wasn't a viewer first on this team. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate that, everyone. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. Aw, thank you. Appreciate you. Oh, you're gonna make me get emotional. I don't remember 2005. It's a swell bunch of folks. Yes, it is. Oh, thank you so much, Guy. Appreciate you. Hold on, I'm coming. Question, why did you stop using Livestream Studio 6? So I moved to Mac. So I did use Livestream Studio TriCaster for years. That was how I learned to stream on a TriCaster using Livestream Studio software back in 2007. And so I actually was streaming from my mobile phone, the Nokia N95 on the Quick app, QIK. It was the first live streaming mobile app. The N95 was the only phone it worked on, so I bought the Nokia N95 back in 2006, 2007, just to be able to do streaming. And then yeah, Philip Nelson, those of you who might remember from back in the day, got me set up with a TriCaster and live stream studio software, and I used that for a number of years. But those were, you know, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 boxes back in the day. Very expensive venture to live stream. And now you don't have that anymore, right? Like that is not something that is like, yes, it still takes investment to do streaming right, or professionally, I should say. But that was, you know, something that was big and bulky and expensive back then. Why did I stop using it? Ecamm Live software well, I was using vMix for a while. And that was very much like Livestream Studio in a lot of ways. And then Ecamm got really good. And I'm a Mac girl at heart, so I wound up on Ecamm Live. And if you guys want to try that, I'm sure we can drop a link to a free trial there if that's something of interest. Jason, thank you so much. You are one from way back in the day. I know. My internet presence, my career can vote now? Cool. Oh boy, I love you guys. All right, Mike. And again, if you just joined us, welcome, welcome. We're just hanging out. This is just a total your show, like AMA. We can talk stories, we can share lessons learned, mistakes made. You can ask any question that you want, whether that's about your content career journey, about anything that I've experienced, whatever, this is your show. In the past 18, I forgot to find out if I have like a piñata. I meant to go to my closet and see if I could dig out a piñata or something. Whoops, forgot that. I'm pretty sure I have a piñata in my closet that says 23 for the year 23, and this would be the last time that I could use it, but I don't have any candy. Anyway, Mike, in the past 18 years, what is the coolest or most surprising piece of streaming gear you can think of? What was the game changer? Okay, I'm gonna be 1000% honest. This is gonna sound so bland, maybe bland, but I will say, well, okay, the game changer was the Stream Decks, all right? Like, oh, shoot, hold on. I have a blank one here. I can't pull any of them up on camera all of a sudden because I tightened the cables. The Stream Decks are game changer for live streaming. Ecamm getting as good as PC software is a game changer for me and for many of you. Varipoles, when those came out or when I discovered them, those were a game changer for studio gear mounting solutions. And so they're very, like, you will find my answers to be very, maybe bland, but practical. Like, if you're asking about game changers, practicality is the name of the game when it comes to streaming, because there's so much that can go wrong that it's best when it's something that actually just makes it much more simpler and easier to use, if that makes any sense. Thank you so much, Israel. Oh, it's been a while. I love seeing your face. Am I going to play the first video? I don't know if you guys want to. I love that. Where can I get a custom built widget for Ecamm that triggers on super chats but has customizations based on amounts? So if you can use Streamlabs or Stream Elements templates. So they have built-in templates for, you know, super chat customization or super chat overlays. If you want to customize that, then, you know, you're going to require a graphic designer like the magical Mr. Paul Dixon, who, sorry, I'm just going to keep using that mug. I pulled it out this morning because I was giving Abby some milk, and that's the mug that I used. I hope that doesn't. But yeah, so that's the answer to that. I'm just going to scroll real quick and come back to your comments. The amount of love that this woman generates is a testament to her career and who she is. Truly impressive. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you. It was the best video possible at the time. You're right. Well, it was, what I meant was like me. I was bad. Like, I was a bad video host at that time. Thank you, Home Rapid Repair. Hold on, 12 weeks into your live stream experiment. Congratulations. I enjoy it, but pretty much crickets while live. Now 3 of the replays popped 10 times my normal views. Is this normal? It can be, especially when you're just getting started with live. If you haven't already built up an audience of people who come to your recorded videos or shorts or other formed content, you can wind up with crickets when you're live. You've got to get a community kind of ready to show up. And you can do that a number of ways. You can use your other assets. Maybe you have an Instagram following or a Twitter X following or wherever, Facebook or TikTok or whatever. So if you have a following elsewhere, even if it's small, or an email list, which I highly encourage, then you can use those assets to kind of drive traffic to your live streams. The other way to go about it is to build up an audience. I don't know which platform you're using. I'm assuming since you have a channel-like name for your username here, I'm assuming you're on YouTube, so I'm going to answer as such. But if you're on YouTube, you could do recorded videos and shorts to gain an audience of people who really like you and are, like the value that you provide. And then you can take that relationship deeper with them in a live stream. They're more likely to show up at that point. So hopefully that helps, Home Rapid. And I know you got this. Even if you have, crickets on your lives, you can take that and clip it and repurpose it in various forms as well. And then, hi, baby girl. She just got down off the couch. And then, you can see videos popping after the fact. That's a normal potential, right? Callie, I believe, is here. I don't know, actually, the answer to that. I haven't seen. I don't know. I'm way behind on comments, so I don't. Not what I'm doing, but I'm not worried. Oh, okay. Fair enough. As I like to say, every person that knows what they're doing once had 0 clues. That is a great way to say it. I love the way that is. Yes. Oh, I love it. I remember watching Larry on Call for Help on Tech TV, Call for Help, yes. Especially if you're Canadian, as Renee is. Israel was. Jason was. Yeah, so you guys got to watch that. I did a lot. Call for Help was one of those moments in my career, for sure. It was like, thank you, Rusty. It's been a while since I've seen you. You are definitely one of those names from back in the day. Rusty says, almost 20 years instead of kids, she has thousands of kids all over and a great community. Being glad to follow for 15 plus years. Yes, I will never have kids. You are my kids. You are my community, my family that I love to nurture and to support and to help. And my favorite thing, the reason that I wake up day to day, is to watch you thrive doing what you're doing, because I believe that that is the way we change this world. By me, it doesn't even start with me. It starts with my mentors too, right? They have an impact on me, which enables me to be able to have an impact on you and help you, support you in your journey, and help you see the magic that really lies in you to be able to take this and run with it. And then you are able to have a bigger impact and make a difference in other people's lives. And then guess what? They get to do the same thing. And it may be looking like on a small scale local level. It may be on a worldwide internet level. Whatever the case may be, I believe that that's how we are going to change the world. I can't do anything about, big world problems, but I can do something about helping you see what you're truly capable of, so that you can then have that snowball effect of impact down the road. So thank you for that. Okay. The Call for Help videos. That's what I was saying. Do you? send them to me, Jason, because here's the interesting thing. I recently went looking for some of my old videos, looking for some of my old stuff. Oh, by the way, we have 10 memberships that we can give you. We're going to gift 10 memberships because this is a new thing that we can do. We're going to gift you 10 memberships. River Creation, welcome. Thank you so much, River, for joining the membership. Here shortly, stick around. I'm going to gift away 10 memberships for you guys. So who knows what could happen. Okay, but back to call for help. So like I got started, I quit my day job. I was able to make sponsorship revenue and a contract to actually produce the content 5 months to the date that I basically started creating content, and I've been doing it ever since. But 2006 or 2007? Dan, thank you so much. Appreciate you as well. 2006, 2007, I got the opportunity to co-host Call for Help with Leo Laporte. Those of you who've been back in the day, you would remember that. And honestly, Amber Mack is one of the OGs, right? Like Amber Mack is one of the OGs who is still around. And I owe that opportunity to her because she decided to step away from Call for Help, leaving a gap and open space. That then I did for like 3 months, which really changed kind of the pivot of it pivoted my career. And so huge shout out to Amber Mack, who I still talk to this day. And I freaking love her and adore everything that she does. She has just really done good work over the years. Anyway, so that opportunity came, and then there were like moments throughout. And here's the kicker. So like Panasonic came to me. So after Call for Help, let me just kind of back up here. After Call for Help, this was like a TV show. Those of you who are not familiar with it, I was invited to do an actual TV show, right? So like this was like 2 years into me doing online content. I was still very new, still very raw. I had never stepped in front of the camera before in my entire life. So this was a brand new thing to me, of putting myself out there, learning to speak, learning to be, good on camera, et cetera, et cetera. And the TV show came up, and then I stepped foot into the studio, and they were like, so we do this live to tape at that point. But now we call it live to drive, meaning there's no edits. Like we just go. If you mess up, you just keep going with it, right? And like, unless something technically goes wrong, this was the speech I was given, unless something technically goes wrong and we have to stop recording, we do not stop recording. So you're going. And I was like, give me it back because I'm hyperventilating right now. I don't think I knew that going into it. And I was freaking out because prior to that, I had only been scripted. I scripted everything I did, and I was very uncomfortable speaking just raw, just like I am right now. I didn't know how to just talk. And so I am grateful to having, Leo as my co-host because he kind of like helped me figure that process out. But man, like it was very uncomfortable for me. So when I walked away from that experience, I said, that isn't happening to me again. I am not good. The one thing I am not good at is not being good at something. I am terrible at being bad at something. It drives me insane because I am such a, high achiever, and I want to do very, very, very good at what I do. So if I'm not going to be good at it, I don't do it. Like if I try, what's an example of something I'm not, I'm not really great at bowling, but I'm okay at it. Golf, let's say golf. Like I'm sure I'm terrible at golf. I wouldn't play it unless I could either be great at it naturally or dig my heels in, learn the craft, and be great at it. Or I'm just not gonna do it. There's no middle ground for me, just the way I work. And so at that point, when I walked away from that TV show experience, I was like, I can't not be good at this. Like I can't feel that anxiety again. So I got the Quick app and I started streaming. I started streaming on a weekly basis from a studio, and I just dug my heels in and figured it out and streamed as much as I could to learn the craft. And I say all of that because that's really important for you all to know as well, right? Like some people look at me 18 years later and think, well, I'm not as good as her, or I don't feel as confident on camera as her. Well, neither did I. I really didn't. And so you either dig your heels in, you learn the craft by practice and by doing and by putting yourself out there and getting comfortable being uncomfortable, or you just don't do it, right? Like, I mean, you have middle ground options, but for me, that's just not an option. Okay. Thank you, Israel. I'm always so inspired by Luria, and even my everyday life, I gain empowerment by her and her achievements. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh no, he can't steal. Santa cannot steal. That would be bad. Okay, if you have a question, I'm gonna scroll. I know I'm way behind on comments. I'm gonna scroll down. If you have questions, if you want to bring up a topic, if you want to hear a story, if you want to see a video, whatever, put Q in front of it. That way it makes its way into my queue, and I'm going to run all the way down while kind of taking a look at comments. So, what's up, party people? Thank you so much, Fen. I appreciate you. Okay. She said Twitter, everybody take a drink. I still refuse. Oh, home improvement, awesome, I love it. I still refuse to call it X. Thank you, Christian, appreciate you. That was not Scooby-Doo. That sounded like a Scooby-Doo impression. It really wasn't. Pretty sure I have a photo with Dave and Kathleen from CES years past. Nice. All right, I know we have a ton of questions. I'm awesome at being bad at something. That's funny. I know, that was like, honestly, okay, I'm coming to your super chat real quick, but let me finish this. Being live on camera, like every time I did something in my career that I had not done before, Panasonic then was the next thing, I think, big thing that had come up. Panasonic asked me to host, not co-host, but host their live stream to millions of people from CES, and I didn't have a clue how to do what they were asking. I just said yes anyway. Thank you. Appreciate you, Einar, as well. I'm coming back to your super chats, I promise. You know, it was interesting because that, I think, was really the core of why I kept progressing in my career and having big opportunities, was because I would just say, if I knew it was the right thing to do, I would say yes, and then I would figure out how. I didn't let my not knowing how stop me from just taking an opportunity. Now, I don't believe that we should take every opportunity out there, but there are some clear, obvious opportunities that are like, yes, that would make a big difference, right? Panasonic, hosting for Samsung, going to Japan and Germany on influencer missions. I'm just gonna call it influencer missions because that sounds funny. You know, were obvious yeses, and so those. But I did not let myself say no or hem-haw around because I didn't know how. Just dug my heels in, figured it out. Let that be the way you move through this content world and journey, because you will do things that you have no freaking clue how to get the job done. And there is always a way. There's always somebody to support you. And, you know, we are here through this community. I am here for you, you know. So anyway, Nicholas, thank you so much for your super chat. What's your current favorite camera and lens for live streams? I'm building a second studio. I currently have Sony 16mm lens for my main studio, but see what else you'd like to suggest. So I like to kind of stick with what works, right? And so my camera here is the Sony ZV-E10 with a 30mm f1.4 lens. I like the 30 millimeters because they're not as wide. And that's a really good option for a lot of you, because when you have that 16mm lens, you're really working with a much wider. So in the past, you saw more of you saw my bathroom door over there, which is like, you know, really cool, like barn door kind of like door. You saw my wall over here. You could see Abby on the couch more. And so you have a much wider, kind of more interesting perspective. However, you also have to then fill that set background, right? So something to consider. One of the reasons that I moved to the 30mm lens is because I do the backdrop for my VODs, for my recorded videos here on YouTube. And that is what, 9, that's a 9-footer wide, and the 16mm went way too far out on that visual. And then you would have to crop in, which isn't good. So that's why I went to the 30mm. That's one of my favorites. Okay, next super chat, super sticker from Einar, a red box of popcorn. You're speaking my language. Keisha, thank you so much. Congrats as 18 years. I appreciate you, Keisha. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Okay, let's see what else we got. By the way, Justine is co-hosting CES 2024. What? I did not hear that. Nice. Congrats, Justine. I love that. That's great. I have to say, like, for years I was like, I'm never going back to CES. Ever. There's a little part of me that still wants to go back, but not as much, not enough to actually go back, if that makes any sense. You know, I don't think it's about faking it, right? Like, I wouldn't do something that I knew I couldn't achieve, right? But I don't know. Fake it till you make it kind of irks me as a phrase, but so I think there's something more to it. I'm gonna put some thought into that and actually do a video about that. Is that okay? Skydiving while making a video? Yes. One of my favorite experiences of my entire life. I got to interview the US Army Golden Knight up in the air while skydiving. Amazing. I don't know if I could go skydiving again because that was such an amazing experience. But all right. Launchpad loves the 30mm. Guess your camera is now mounted further away. Nope, my camera is actually in the same exact spot it was. So yeah. 70mm. Okay. That's a wide one. Kenna just upgraded membership. Oh, speaking of, how do we give away memberships? Team, let's give away some memberships, because I don't know how. We're going to do this. We're going to give away 5 memberships right now. And I think all we do is pull a trigger. But somebody on my team is going to pull that trigger because I don't know what I'm doing. I love my moderators and I love my team for picking up the slack when I promise something and don't know what I'm promising. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly until you figure out what you're doing. Well said. I like the way you said that one for sure. Oh no, Jason, that sucks. No, Marcus, not from you. No, from us. Marcus just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. I don't know, Marcus, if you meant to do that from the channel account. Do we have the ability? Kenna did. Kathleen gifted 5. Oh my gosh. Flash in your pan.
Security breach.
Welcome, Jay Brown. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Tina, Keith, Nikki. My bourbon journey.
Username accepted. Welcome.
Marco! Oh.
breach. Scanning. User
Oh, I have to do it for the free ones. Okay.
welcome. Shutting down.
I guess Callie isn't here, so
Breach. Scanning.
the other Jay Brown, Nathalie,
Welcome. Shutting down.
Aaron, Kenna,
Security breach.
George, Brian.
Accepted. Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down.
Oh my gosh.
Security breach. Scanning. User accepted. Welcome. Welcome.
Hold on. While we're waiting for all of these channel gifted memberships, Kevin, Todd, Axel.
Shutting down.
I'm learning. Hold on.
Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down. Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down. Security breach. Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome.
Oh,
Shutting
there.
down. Security breach.
Wait, what?
Scanning. Username accepted. Welcome. Welcome.
Paul,
Shutting down.
Paul is like, the first credits are going to be really long of 2024.
Security breach. Scanning.
Oh my God.
Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down.
Okay. Gifting. Click gift 5 now.
Welcome. Welcome. Shutting down.
I don't have that option, Renee. I'm in my account, membership gifting. Wait, click the membership gifting. Gift 5 now. Buy gift? No. I don't have that option. No, I can't give, but but you all got a ton of memberships, so there you go. I will figure that out for the first part of 2024. How about that? Yeah, I am doing it from the chat interface, but I have membership gifting, but I do not have the ability to gift memberships. I'm just looking at one more thing. Am I a branded account? No. I don't think I am a branded account, but I do know that you can't do it if you're a branded account, so maybe I am. I thought I wasn't because of all sorts of other issues with branded accounts. But anyway, okay. Oh, you guess it. Oh, okay. Yeah, Giovanni, you might, because if you have a prompter that kind of sees the, kind of the, what's the word I'm looking for? But sees kind of the edge of the prompter. Okay. Okay. Anyway, welcome to all of our new members. I'm sorry that I can't do what I promised, so I will dig into that later, and we will figure that out for the beginning of 2024, maybe. Unless I'm a branded account, which I can't remember if I am or not, because there are multiple ways to go about that. Anyway, I don't know. Somebody said something about a panel. You guys might, oh, that's the behind the scenes. Oh, you guys, I just got this. The DLZ Creator. Oh, it's so big. The DLZ Creator that is getting so much attention, got that in my hands. So I'm gonna be doing some fun stuff with that. If you have questions about that, oh my God, it's kind of heavy, actually. These were some of the fun things that I've gotten to do. Got to be on stage with Tom Green, Norm Macdonald, and I gotta say, Norm Macdonald and Chris Angel. Norm Macdonald was one of the nicest people in the world. I was super, super sad to hear about him, but he was just truly one of the kindest people. I was like the only non-celebrity on the panel, and I'm like, what am I doing here at New Media Expo Blog World? But it was very it was very nice to have like real celebrities actually like he asked me all kinds of questions about what it was I did, and he was just very, very kind to me and took an actual interest in my career and what I was doing and why I was doing it and all of that good stuff. So really enjoyed the dinner that I had with Tom Green. Tom Green was like, all of them were super. Chris Angel, Tom Green, Norm Macdonald, all of them were very, very kind. To this this young woman who like didn't have a place on the like panel, or at least that's how I felt, right? And I know you guys feel the same way when you have opportunities or when you're around somebody who you admire or who seems to outperform you or seems to be, like we kind of put people on pedestals, and that's what I hate about celebrity, like the world of celebrity. Is that I don't believe anybody should be on a pedestal, but we do kind of just generally in our heads do that, and it was just a very cool moment of my career. So anyway, coming back to questions. Yes, coming back to questions. I'm giving up on channel memberships for all of you who are trying to help. Thank you very much, but I give up. Okay, coming back to questions. I'm scrolling far back because I'm like apparently very, 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 very far behind. Okay. Back 40. Oh, I already answered that. Marcus, what job did I have before video? Great question. So before I did video, so back in, well, I was what, 23, 24 when I started doing video. So I didn't have like a career or anything. I had previously, when I, was like 18, was doing, hand coding a website, development, like total hand coding jobs back then. The bubble was, getting big at that point. I was making like $50,000 per job at that point doing web development. Can't do that these days. But it was very like good. And then the bubble burst in 99? Is that when the bubble burst? I don't remember anymore. But, and then I had kind of gotten into self-storage of all things, which is the randomest of jobs. But got involved in self-storage, managing a self-storage location. Really excelled at that. They had me open up a new facility, and I learned a lot through, it's really interesting, our experiences. But no, I was not a lounge singer. You do not want me to sing. Sorry, y'all. That's the one thing that I still have yet to do on camera. But no karaoke for me. That is never going to happen. Never say never, right? But anyway, it's interesting because during self-storage, like they give you basically a facility to run if you are at that level. And I had to work within budgets, and I had to learn customer service, and I had to learn like all of these different things and basically run the business. It wasn't my money, but it was running a business and managing the budgets and making decisions and things like that. And I really took a lot of that knowledge into what I do now, which was super helpful, super beneficial to understand certain things about running a business that I would have never had the opportunity to understand. Did I do it well from the beginning? Abso-freaking-lutely not. But it's really interesting. So this year, 18 years, right? Like, so at the beginning of this year, 23, I realized some things, and I made some commitments to myself and to my business, to my team. And I realized very quickly, and I've said this before, but it was, I started this year off thinking, I need a life. I've gone 18 years without really having like a balanced work life, thing going on here. And I work a lot and I put everything I am into my business, and I love what I do. And I pour. And, I had experienced a few years of high stress transition. And at the beginning of this year, I was like, you know what? Like, I need to start prioritizing myself or I'm going to get burnt out again. And I had become disillusioned with a lot of things in my business. And I quickly realized that need for balance really unlocked the real issue, which was, in order to get to my vision of where I want to take this company and this content thing and this my world, I had to basically tear the business down brick by brick. And so while y'all haven't seen much of that except for me stepping out of the limelight much of this year, and I really haven't done as much content or put myself out there in the ways that I had really typically do, I realized I had to basically tear the business apart from the back end, brick by brick, peeling onion layer after onion layer off to get it to a point where I can now build in 24 for the vision that I see. And I see so much potential in everything that we're doing here at Live Streaming Pros and with my personal brand and everything. There's so much potential. And I'm so excited now that I've gone through the brutal process of tearing apart the back end, to be able to step forward into growth and actually scale this business the way I see it capable of. And so, yes, you have seen less content, and that's because I cannot describe how brutal a process it was. And I've talked to my mentors and coaches about it, and they helped guide me through this entire process. And I'm super grateful for Michael Hyatt and Kevin Jennings, who I have not mentioned his name before, but he was one of my coaches this year that really guided me through the process of looking to the future, knowing exactly what I want to accomplish, and fixing the things in the back end of the business, the structure of the business, all the stuff that you guys don't see as much of. And so I had to kind of just take a step back. It really caused me to be very internal. With my mom breaking her hip, and me traveling so much in the last part of this year, I had a lot of internal stuff that I had to deal with, and a lot of looking, healing from the past, looking at the current present, dealing with that in order to get myself ready, prepared, get this company ready and prepared to be able to, oh my gosh, we've got some amazing things that are going to be coming up in the next couple of years. And I'm incredibly excited about it now. And all of the disillusionment that I was feeling at the beginning of this year is now turned to pure excitement and joy, and I'm in it again. And so I'm just feeling very grateful for this year, as brutal as it was. And I know I really haven't talked about all of that this year with you, but I'll do some content around that and maybe explain that a little bit more, but happy to answer any questions that you have around that. I know that I really wasn't out there very much this year, took a step back from content, and just a lot of things. And it was just, I'm sometimes, and some of my coaches were like, you know what? I go through that every 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, great, now I know it's coming. So yeah, you are very welcome. And that's the thing, through whatever you're doing with your content, whether you're creating content because it's your hobby, and you're hoping to make money at it and build a community around your passion or knowledge, if you're creating content so that you can build a business out of it, it's important to hear that sometimes this process, we start focusing on too heavy of one thing versus the right balance of things. And sometimes we have to break things down in order to build things up with more success. And that was what I was going through this year, for sure. The journey isn't always a simple path. It's not. And sometimes, for me, the business had gotten really bloated. We were doing things because with no real purpose behind it. And so you will find yourself with things like that. Maybe you're spending too much time looking at tags or descriptions in your channel, where you should be spending more time doing something that really is going to drive your content and your revenue forward, right? So, you know, and I will say this, I have been at that place before, tearing things apart to grow in a different way. And nothing big is changing for you guys. Like, there are going to be some big, cool things coming, but nothing is like, I just want to be clear, like you're not going to see much of a difference. It was really on the internal, like back end side, that these things are like affecting. But that being said, I had been, 10 years into my career, I burnt out and I blew stuff up. I stopped using my alias name. I started going by my real name. I had to, like at that point, I did it wrong, just like blew it all up and had to start from scratch. Now, as I did this year, I really did it with the intention of not doing that again. And doing it in a much more intentional and structured way, so that I could not have to start from scratch again, right? Like that wasn't gonna be what I wanted to do. For sure. How are my niece and nephew? Thank you for the question. They're doing great. I am super proud of my niece and nephew. I have two nephews. One is 18, Loki. He's finishing his chef internship. Then I have another niece and nephew, and they're in, elementary school and middle school, and they're doing incredibly well as super talented, super sweet, super kind, and I'm just, it's really an honor to watch them grow up. Okay, I have so many questions, and I have like a call in 10 minutes. Okay, Gonzalo, how do we organize the script for going live? I tend to read word for word and stress myself out. Gonzalo, if you're still here, Gonzalo, I am shooting a video as soon as I get off this stream that is going to answer that question. So look forward to that. Probably not this year, but beginning of the year, look for that video coming out. I am going to give you the best tips on reading from a teleprompter and not looking so weird doing it. But what you can do is just bullet point it for now, right? Like that's a great way to start with a teleprompter, is just bullet points, and fill in the blanks based on your knowledge and the things that you know already. I know, Rusty, 18 years does make me indeed feel very old. Rusty, I have a real YouTube live stream thumbnail question. Is there a way to show a selected thumbnail for a live stream instead of a scheduled post? So yes, I mean, so when you schedule your live stream, select the thumbnail in the same way that you do doing anything else. There's any other video on YouTube that's the same thumbnail? Is that what you're asking? Because it shows up as the thumbnail and then it says upcoming, and it does have like a countdown timer, like in 24 hours or in whatever, right? So, so there's that. If you're not seeing it, it's in the process. If you get through the scheduled process and it's still not showing, go into the edit and you'll find the thumbnail edit button. Want to do remote lives in a sewing studio where I'm interacting with students. Any recommendations for a camera that will follow me from student to student? The AI cameras that are out and about, the Link and the ObsBot, those are both great for that purpose. I don't love AI cameras for every purpose, but for what you're describing, Joanne, is a perfect reason to use an AI camera that does tracking. So the Link and the ObsBot are two very, very good options for you. Okay. Region, do you know of any application that pulls all your live comments in one place? So you can use something like, if you are streaming from like Restream Studio, you could actually pull the widget. Let's say you go to Ecamm. Thank you, Mari, for the super chat. Congrats on 18 years. Appreciate you. You guys are so amazing. I really, really do appreciate you. Let's see. What was the question? Yes. So if you stream from Ecamm or vMix or anything else, you can actually multi-stream to restream. So you would send your signal to restream, let them do the multicasting and the simulcasting out to multiple places. You can then use their widget that pulls all of the chats together and display that on screen. So you could have like a little widget displayed on screen here. That is the way you would want to do that. Word of caution, putting chat up on screen, but you can look at that, like you could actually look at that just on the browser on your computer as well. If you display it on screen, beware that if somebody says something that breaks terms of service on any of the platforms, you could run into trouble on your channel. So just keep that in mind. I don't love doing that. By the way, if you have not finished out your streaming or content for the year, you do have the ability to get fun things like snow and all of that on the, there, holiday overlays. If you still have time for the end of the year, you can get those at livestreampros.com/store. So be sure to do that. Okay, coming back to your questions. How far is your back? Wait, hold on. Yes. How far is your background? My background, it's in a video. We actually took a tape measure to it. I don't remember which video it is. I think it's on the blurry lens video is which video that is. But it is about 12 to 13 feet in the background. Just for what it's worth, you can do anything with a shorter background. This is a lot of length. Most people don't have that length. What are the best ways to sell in lives? I add links in the description. I have a membership, ebooks, and courses in vegan cooking and known in my field. Kathy, I believe you joined Accelerator program this past week. Is that correct? If so, we can dig into this in depth with you. So I'm excited to do that. But at a core, for anybody looking to use your live streams, use your content to sell something, whether that's a membership or your books or your courses, you want to start by knowing, like, what is the promise of the purchase, right? What are they going to get from that? And what content can you create that will support them in that process? You want to create a straight line from content to your business. And so when you think about it from the end goal, pull back and say, what do they need to know in order to be ready to purchase this course? What questions do they have that's stopping them from feeling like they can actually do it? What are the biggest common questions around that content? Create content that answers those questions, that gets them prepared and gives them small wins so that they know that they can actually do it, right? And so, in vegan cooking, for me as a person who doesn't know how to cook vegan, there would be so many questions. Is it going to get me to my weight loss goals? Is it like, what am I going to miss from cooking vegan versus not, right? It depends on your avatar. Are they ready to do it? Are they needing to learn that they need to be ready to do it? Like, you have to kind of back up from that perspective as well and know who you're talking to. But if, you just need to nail those questions down, create VODs, create shorts, create lives that answer those questions, and make a Q&A. You have an engaged audience already, so do a Q&A, answer those questions, or create solidified content around a single question, a single win. Vegan cookies are great, by the way. Nice. You know what? I did have some vegan cookies recently at a client build where we are on site doing a studio build. They kept giving us vegan cookies, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, you know what? Question for you all. Do you want a big yes or no in the comments? Do you want me to push my meeting off for a few minutes and stick around and still try and answer all of these questions? Yes or no? Roger! 2 days in a row, yes. It was great to see you yesterday, Roger. Great to see you here today, Roger. So this is a meeting that I technically could. Do you mind if, wait, I see a bunch of yeses. Okay. Do you mind if we push this? Okay. I just okay. I just asked the question of my client that I needed to meet with and see if we can push that a little bit. So I'll let you know. But let me answer the questions as quickly as I can. Do we have rapid fire yet? Okay, hold on. Wait. Don't go to rapid fire until I ask the question. Jim, thank you so much for the super chat. Valerian LSP, can't wait to watch and learn. Appreciate you, Jim. Thank you so very much. Okay, next question. What is a membership gift? Chris, a membership gift is like, so I have, that was Jim. Thank you so much. A membership is here on YouTube, like we have my membership, right? Accelerator program that you just joined, Chris. That's my membership. But we have YouTube memberships. And so when you hit monetization on YouTube, you have access to a number of different monetization options, from AdSense to YouTube memberships, to super chats like what you're seeing here, and different things. So the memberships here on YouTube just allow people to, get access to exclusive content or perks that we can see. So if you hit the little money icon, the little $sign in the chat box, then you'll see the different perks that we offer. All right, Sammy, I'm trying to start working with sponsors. Do you have any advice? Yes. Oh, I'm so proud of some of my students in Accelerator programs. She just, Marianne, just like scored some sponsorship deals. I'm so proud of her. So anyway, just had to give her a big shout out. But yes, so when it comes to sponsors, that's a whole big thing. The biggest piece of advice I would give you is when you're starting to look for sponsors, you must approach it. There are a couple of ways that you can approach it, but I believe that the best way to approach it is win-win-win. You want to approach sponsor companies with the concept of how can we make this a win-win-win? A win for the audience first and foremost. Our partnership together, sponsor, creator, must be a win for the audience. It must be something that they want, need, will find value in. Once that's known, right? Like, yes, as a creator, my audience would love your content or love your product, sponsor. And so let's get together and make this a win for the audience. Then it must also be a win for the sponsor because they're only spending money to make money. It's business. And it must be a win for you as well. You should be making some money in the process, right? And so it needs to be a triangle win everywhere. And so that's how you want to approach it. When you find the right audience or the right sponsor that is going to meet the needs of your audience, then you can approach them and say, and just strike up a conversation. And during that process, you really want to kind of go into it with, how can I support your goals? It's not about what you want. It's not about what you need as a creator. How can you help them? And how can we be a team here? Thank you, Jason. Did you have a question? Or was that just a random $10? Thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate you. All right. And we could go definitely way deeper in that, but that's how I start any sponsorship conversation. Okay. Let's see. Next question answered. And can the live stream post of YouTube have a selected thumbnail without having to be a scheduled post? Okay, I answered that earlier, Rusty. If you didn't get that, let me know. Israel, what is one thing in tech you would love to incorporate into the next phase of your career to make you stand out even more? Great question. Well, I will be playing with AI stuff, but everybody is, but not in probably the ways that you're thinking. I don't know. That's a great question, Israel. I don't know that I have a really great answer for that, but I am going to use that and think about that during this holiday break. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that confirmation. Honest Accomplice, have you considered white labeling and branding your own series of podcasting equipment? I would pay more to get an LSEP branded microphone. Would you? Dan, would you? I'm going to leave that right there. Florian, how to start from the bottom as a content creator? What are your 5 best pieces of advice? Florian, great question. I am actually working on a video that is going to answer that exactly. I started the outlining process of that yesterday. And so look for that at the beginning of this year to answer that, I think it is exactly 5 or 7 pieces of advice for making this work. But right now, what I would say is, Florian, it would be amazing for you. One of the biggest things that people do wrong right at the beginning is look for the instant gratification. There are very, 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 very few people who start and hit. And so I want you to go into this with 6 months, 9-month commitment, a year commitment or more. I mean, look at Mr. Beast. It took him 10 years to hit. So, while he was having success or little increments, right? It takes time because you're not skilled at what you're trying to do just yet. And so it takes the practice, it takes the doing over and over and over. It takes the commitment to not give up. I was talking about this earlier, you may have missed it. But where, you want to not give up when it seems like you're getting no traction, because the traction is just around the corner. And so I just really want to encourage you to think about the end goal. Why are you in this? What are you trying to accomplish with this? Whether it's to build a community, whether it's to make money at this, to quit your day job, to what is the goal, and really back that up and say, that's the goal I'm going to achieve. I am going to achieve that. It may take me some time, and I'm going to keep improving my skill. I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep digging my heels in and learning better and better craft. And those are the people that have long-term success. I would not be here for 18 years if I didn't dig my heels in over and over and over and over and over, come back from, chaos and do it anyway and do it when I didn't feel like it, and all of those things. Very, very important part of this process. While that's not necessarily the answer you want, it's the real answer of success. So know exactly what you're trying to do with this so that you have the motivation to keep moving when it gets tough. You got this. I believe in you. Okay, next question. Region, what would you recommend as a separate application that can handle my live? Oh, I already answered that. Malacare, do you have any experience or thoughts on using the Pocket 3 for streaming? I don't like those types of things for streaming personally. And I don't specialize here at Live Streaming Pros at on the go, mobile streaming. That's not really what we cover here. There are D. Neman probably has some really good stuff on his channel, so you might check that out. He loves the mobile tech. And so I'm assuming, I don't know this for real, but I'm assuming he has probably some stuff on the DJIs that you might want to check out. So D. Neman would be a place to get started there. Let's see. Mia, can you help us create a media kits and approaching sponsors, or can you recommend somebody? So Mia, I have training for that inside of our accelerator program. I don't believe we had just kind of had a little mini opening for our email list subscribers. If that is something, so a couple of things. One, email support at livestreamingpros.com, Mia, and we can get you any resources that we do have on that. I don't know. I think I have a video on YouTube about that, but we are opening the Doors to Accelerator program where we actually dig into training on those topics in January. And so you might want to, join us as we kind of have those conversations. If you are looking for some one-on-one help, we can certainly help you out there as well. So just some thoughts on that in terms of sponsors. There's a guy who focuses solely on sponsorships, Justin Moore. If you find him on YouTube and Twitter, Twitter. Justin Moore does is it the Sponsorship Coach, I want to say is his brand, but he does like solely focus on sponsorships, so and getting sponsors. So if you that would be a potentially good resource for you right now to dig into some of his trainings as well. January will be here before you know it, for sure. What's your favorite platform for recording a podcast? 2 feeds of the video for my editor, so I assume something besides Zoom or Ecamm. Riverside, StreamYard would be best. So you could use Riverside for sure. Lots of podcasters use Riverside. I'm digging into it myself. I have actually never used it as a creator, only as a guest on other people's podcasts. I know, but I use Ecamm because Ecamm allows you to have ISO video. And so you can actually record both your guests' audio and video separately and yours separately. So you have that capability with Ecamm and vMix as well. So that would be my answer to that. You could look at either or option. If you're already using Ecamm, you might as well test that and use it. Because it's already, if you have a pro account, it's already enabled for you. But if you want something completely different than Ecamm, Riverside would be a great option. Okay, there you go. Riverside for Creator Insider worked fine. I don't know anybody who has complaints about Riverside. I've never heard anybody complaining about it, for sure. Okay, let's see. You are welcome, Florian. I hope that really helped. Wait, what was the question? What's the difference between a brand deal and a sponsor? Great question. I'm not sure that there is a really hardcore line there, but so a sponsor typically means you're putting content out on your channel and they are sponsoring a specific episode or series of episodes, or maybe they have a 3-month, 6-month, year contract to sponsor a number of episodes on your channel where you say, this episode is sponsored by, and you read, you do a host read, is what you would call that. And so you're talking about the sponsor inside of your existing content. A brand deal typically looks a little bit more integrated. Those are more integrations. So brand deal integration is typically kind of used interchangeably. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I appreciate you. You are very welcome. And so those more brand deals, integrations, those are, some people will do, and I'm not a big fan of this, but some people will do like a brand deal where you're doing an entire video that is sponsored by. It's not a piece of the video, but it is an entire video where the whole purpose of the video is to promote the brand. That is a recipe for distrust with your audience. And so I'm not a big fan of those. Brand deals also can look like outside of your channel, outside of your content, where they include things more like social promotion, emails to your list if you have one, and other integrations. For example, there was, back in the day when I was still using the brand Callie Lewis, GeekBeat, I had done a brand deal with Bausch and Lomb because I wear contacts, and they were doing like a high-tech contact promotion. And so that brand deal looked like, because that wasn't really a sponsorship of our content, but it was more of a brand deal where I was creating videos for them to distribute for them to distribute on their channels. And so it was my face on their channels. And I also would appear at, things like South by Southwest on their behalf, do interviews for them, right? And so and it also included social media on my promotion, on my channels, but it never included, like, if I remember correctly, never included content on my channel or sponsorship of my content. So that's really the difference between brand deal and sponsorship. And sometimes those words are used interchangeably and there isn't a clear difference, but that's how I think of them. Okay. I've seen golf channels where the brand deals means they appear in their videos wearing that brand of clothing. Yeah, exactly, right? For sure. Okay. Whew. When did you last edit a video for one of your channels? Sammy, they don't allow me to edit around here, around these parts. They don't allow me to do graphics around these parts either. Things like, these fun things that you can still get on our store for the holidays. They don't allow me to do anything of graphics or edits or really much of anything that I couldn't accomplish. But what I have edited, so I'll edit like course videos for our programs occasionally, not really, but occasionally if it's like just a trim or a cut. That's all I do with editing is trims or cuts, because I haven't edited a video in 15 years. That's probably accurate. 15 years I haven't edited video for my own content. I started off editing, but I quickly hired editors for that. And I'm a big fan of doing that once you understand what you're trying to accomplish with your own channel and brand. But anyway, I do edit because it's just trimming and cutting my personal channel videos. But that's not much of editing. Like I said, it's just trim and edit. And no, so I haven't used Final Cut. Yeah, I haven't used Final Cut since it was 7. You're absolutely correct on that. For sure. Yes, I do the Luria channel videos. I do, because they're just trimming and editing. That is really all there is to that. Getting a good editor is on my wish list. I know you tried, Christian. You still have the ability to get a good editor. I know. I got people for that. No. It's just, I know the best use of my time is doing the thing that only I can do, which is put my knowledge out there into the world and support you guys doing what you're doing. And that's what my brand is, and that's what my time is best spent on. So as much as I can spend my time doing the things that are kind of my uniqueness, then I like to hire other people to do their uniqueness and their magic. And a good editor is just that. A good editor, a great editor, however you want to think about them. But I can't do the things that they do without much more time, effort, and frustration and stumbling around. So, you don't want to overspend by any means, but when you're ready to hire and when you have income coming in that you can spend, then that makes a lot of sense. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, where your skill sets are, and what you really need to focus on. That's definitely something I spend a lot of time thinking about. All right, you guys, it is time to today I sat down. You hear that chair? I really got to get a new chair. Thank you so much, VR. Synergy. Did you really just bring up the word synergy around here? Yes, though. You're right, Coulter. All right, everybody, put your dancing shoes on. We are going to roll those beautiful bean credits and dance this baby out. Thank you so much to all of our members here on YouTube. You will see your name being called out in these credits. Don't forget your holiday graphics. You have a week or a week and a half left before the end of the year and the end of the holidays. Yes, Roger, that's a great idea. I need a share sponsor. No, I can't. I need share for 18 years. Okay, I'm gonna go shop around. 5-hour live stream, not gonna happen. I do have a call that I did push out, and it's in 2 minutes. So I'm gonna run and do that. We're going to roll those beautiful bean credits. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for celebrating with me. Thank you for all the super chats, and welcome to all of our new members. And thank you to those of you who gifted the memberships as well. I will figure out the whole gifting thing on my side. Bye. I love you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm looking forward to another 18 years.